Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar on mining trade shows for supplier leads with your host. That's me, Barbara Drazga. And today we're going to be talking about how to find supplier leads using trade show websites. And I'm going to give you kind of pull back the curtain so you can see how the wizard works. So first I'm going to stop the share and just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Barbara Drazga with the Bundle Masterclass and TradeShowMining.com. And this webinar is geared towards Amazon sellers, if you're an eBay seller, even if you have your own website and you're selling on your own Shopify store and you're looking for suppliers that are maybe unique or have products that aren't for sale on Amazon yet, or maybe you're also looking for fanatical niche markets. And you know there are a ton of trade shows out there, but that's the problem. There's a ton of trade shows out there, so where do you start? So today we're going to talk about my brand new Wholesale Trade Show Directory that I'm launching, that's just been launched. And then I'm going to show you how I use this directory to actually find leads. And I'm going to walk you through an actual site that's on the directory so you can see what I do. And then I'll answer some questions. If you put some questions in the Q&A, then I'll see if I can get to them, or in the chat, I'll see if I can get to Q&A towards the end of this. Now, I don't have a lot of time with you today, so I want to honor your time and make sure I'm bringing you a ton of value in this short time we have together. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the presentation I created for you, and we'll just get started, take some notes, and again, put your questions in the chat, and I'll see what I can do about getting to them towards the end of the presentation. Okay, so today, in case you thought you might, you didn't know what place you were at, today we're going to learn about mining trade shows for supplier leads. And you can check out TradeShowMining.com at some point to get a little bit more information about the Wholesale Trade Show Directory. So there's the Wholesale Trade Show Directory, 1,284 niche trade shows representing tens of thousands of new product suppliers, probably, and that's conservatively, probably millions of new products, guys, in this trade show directory. So here's what we're going to cover in this webinar today. First, we're going to talk about how to get started. How do you leverage trade show vendor information, by the way, without actually going to a trade show, right? So you're not actually going to attend a trade show in order to do this hack that I'm going to teach you today. All right, product and supplier lead generation. How to identify niche markets, because a lot of these trade shows are in really bizarre niche markets that maybe you hadn't thought about, and that's a good thing. Because if you've heard me on my other webinars, I talk a lot about identifying fanatical niche markets and the passions and the problems in those markets. And then the more niche, the better. And then leverage, how to use technology instead of you sitting there and, copy and paste and email, how to use technology and outsourcing to get that supplier information from each trade show website automatically, so you can build a list of tens of thousands. That I'm not over-exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. Tens of thousands of niche suppliers that you can then contact to set up wholesale accounts. So let's just get started. Getting started. So not everybody can travel to trade shows, and with almost 1,300 trade shows in the directory, you can't go to all of them. And we have lives and we have businesses. So traveling to trade shows, families physical traveling to trade shows for a lot of people is just not feasible. So this is a way that you can extract information from those trade shows without actually going. So let's just get started. So this is what the trade show directory looks like. And this year we've got, and I do this every year, okay, and this year I've got 1,284 different trade shows in here, most of them in the US, a couple of them in Canada, but pretty much all of them in the US except for maybe a handful. And it's listed by trade show name, gives you the dates, the address, city, state, but most importantly, that website, okay? So imagine if each of these 1,284 trade shows has just 50 suppliers as vendors, just 50, and most of them have a lot more. And then if each supplier carried just 50 products, because so each brand owner has just 50 products in their catalog. Here's what the math looks like. 1,284 trade shows, 50 vendors that have products you can resell, and they each have 50 products. You're looking at over 3.2 million potential products to source. And if I could drop a mic, I would drop a mic without hurting it. I'm not going to do that, but mic drop. So over 3.2 million potential products to source, and that's just conservatively. Now let's say they had, each supplier had 100. You're doubling that to 6.2 million. So that the reason I'm telling you this math is to illustrate the potential power in knowing how to extract this information and contact these suppliers and act as their advocate on Amazon or resell the products on eBay or on your own store and identify niche markets. This is how powerful this can be without ever leaving your home office. So I use trade shows first and foremost as niche market idea generation. So using the Wholesale Trade Show Directory, here are just a couple that I noticed on there that kind of caught my eye, and this is just scrolling down, just one page. I haven't looked at all almost 1,300 of them. So Astronomical Society, so people are into astronomy. Farm Show, there are a lot of fanatical niches around people who love like chickens and pigs and everything around chickens and pigs. All right, it's feasible that you will find vendors selling to people who love chickens or pigs or some other farm-related thing. Or how about people who need parts for their certain farm implements or buying farm implements, right? These are the types of vendors who would be at a farm show. Collegiate Athletic Association I thought was interesting because that's the college market plus athletics. So do a mashup of those two niche markets. Nursery and Landscape Associations, gift shows. Okay, there are gift shows in almost every major city at some point, if not twice a year. And these gift shows are great ways to find these smaller vendors, these smaller brand owners who maybe are local to that area and only go to that trade show to find new buyers, right? New wholesale buyers. Dental Congress I thought was interesting because what if you brought products to the market or created bundles for dental offices, right? That may be a bundle that they give away to their dental student or to their clients, their customers. Outdoor Retail and Snow Show, which is kind of interesting because I know, snow sports are a big thing, and clothing. I haven't looked at that website yet, so I'm not sure exactly what vendors are there. But in going to those websites, you can get an idea for the types of products that this niche market will buy. Gem and Jewelry Show. I live in Arizona, so we have this ginormous Tucson gem and mineral show. And people like gems and minerals. This is a fanatical niche market. People who like rocks. And then the Surf Expo. Now, I don't surf, but I think it's cool to watch people surf. And so I'm going to use actually the Surf Expo, their website, as an example, a live example. I'm going to show you how I do what I do, how I find these vendors on these websites by using the Surf Expo. Is everybody with me? Okay, so product and supplier lead generation. So how do you identify niche product and supplier opportunities for wholesale and bundle opportunities? We covered a little bit of that in just a second ago. So what I do is I use the mining process. So my mining process is I visit the trade show website, I locate the vendor or the exhibitor list. That's usually where it's going to be, what it's going to be called. And on most websites, there will be a place for exhibitors. There'll be like a drop down or a link for exhibitors, and then a link for attendees. You want to find the link that says attendees, not exhibitors. And I know that sounds kind of backwards, but the exhibitor link is going to be basically an application for a brand owner or to want to be a vendor at that event. But what you want to do is find the link for attendee, because that attendee information is where they give you a list of the vendors a lot of times, okay, and they tell you how to find contact information for those vendors. And then once you find that exhibitor list, you start identifying brand owners on that list. Now, there's going to be some generic ones like American Express because or Visa because they're trying to get people to sign up for their cards, or vacation destinations, right? But out of those vendors, there will be a subset that will be brand owners and have a product to sell to wholesalers or to the marketplace. Next, you want to visit the supplier websites. And if you don't know how to visit a supplier website and find the wholesale application link or sales email address and farm that information, when you order the Wholesale Trade Show Directory from me, you also get a how do you get started in wholesale, and how do you sign up for a reseller number with links to every state's reseller website so you can get your reseller certificate, and then how to actually apply for a wholesale account with these brands, and that comes with the trade show directory. So let's just dig in. I'm going to show you a live example of Surf Expo. And I just randomly chose this out of the Wholesale Trade Show Directory. And we're just going to go over here and and I need you guys to tell me whether or not, can you see the Surf Expo website up on your screen? Go ahead and say yes or no in the chat so I know you can see what I'm seeing. Can you see the Surf Expo up on the screen? Can you guys see that? It's a white and blue. Okay, so yes, good stuff. Okay, great. I'm glad. Okay, good. So I'm doing this right. Sometimes we have technology glitches, but hopefully you all on the same page. Okay, so I went to surfexpo.com, which is in the directory, and then what did I say? I said, don't go to exhibitors, right? And you notice I'm lucky because they kind of illustrate it here. Tells you all about the show. Buyers, that would be us. Exhibitors, and this is not where you want to go, okay? Press, hotel, travel, right? So you can see all the information here, but you want to go under buyers. Now, go ahead and in the chat, tell me of these 4 drop-down options, tell me which one do you think we should click on to find out vendor information. So the first one is why attend Surf Expo in September, buyer registration, Premier Buyers Club, and exhibitor product catalogs. Which one do you think we should click on? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. Exhibitor product catalogs, you guys are awesome. There you go. Yep, you're all on the same page. So I'm going to go over here, click, and see what we see. What do we see here? Okay, so it looks like that there are catalogs for some exhibitors. Does anybody see a link on this page that might give us more information? Not just, these are probably sponsored exhibitors. They've paid to have their catalogs on this website because there's only, I don't know, there's only a dozen, 16 of them, right? But where do you think we would find all of the vendor information? Go ahead and put that in the chat for me. Look at the entire page here. Where do you think we would find all vendor exhibitor information? This is a trick question here. So on the right-hand side, it says exhibitor list, and that's what I'm going to click on and see what happens. So I click on exhibitor list, and boom. There's a list of all the exhibitors at this trade show, and you notice I can click on all. I can sort by alphabet. So we'll just, click on all and see what comes up. You can actually on this particular website, and every show is different. Some are a little bit more sophisticated than others. On this one, it looks like you can star the ones that you're interested in, and then they'll show up under My Exhibitors, which is kind of cool. You can even do an advanced search if you're looking for maybe just clothing, for example. So what do you do with this now, right? So here's a list of exhibitors, but now what? So over here, the floor category, this is kind of information. This is kind of interesting information. This is sort of kind of the category of what they sell, but I don't think it's fleshed out enough. And a lot of websites, they'll have much deeper information, like keywords of exactly what they sell. So we could just, go to any one of these and let's say boutique, 30A dumpster driver. I kind of want, let's just do the first one, 10th Avenue West Studios. And what does it do? It opens up another page on the Surf Expo website. And what does it give me? It gives me the website address. It gives me a description of the company, the products that they sell, handmade roofing metal octopus, latest addition to our product line. So metal fish and sea life, handmade from recycled tin roofing. How interesting is this, right? Additional information. So, but it gives us the website. So then we're going down a rabbit hole here, but if you follow kind of the trail I'm showing you, there are breadcrumbs. So what do? You click on this website, and then you go over here and you find out, okay, how can I, oh, look at this, right at the top, wholesale. How can I sign up for a wholesale account? So lucky for us, this website was easy to find. What I normally do, if I can't find that wholesale link at the top, I'll go way down to the bottom. A lot of times at the bottom, they have these links that say wholesaler contact us. So here we go. You can sign up for a wholesale account right on their website. So did you guys see how I did that? So I started at Surf Expo. I went to buyers, exhibitor catalogs. I found something that said exhibitor link, exhibitor websites. I clicked on just one of them. Here's A&L Wholesale, right? And it opens up A&L Wholesale on a separate website, a separate tab. It gives me the link to their website. I go over to the website, and then I sign up for a wholesale account. So I know it sounds a little bit involved, but once you kind of get the process down, you can actually automate this. You can outsource, automate first, and then outsource the rest of it. So here's, Contact, right? These guys sell these aluminum trucks. These guys sell retro boards, right? So Contact, Gallery, Home, right? So you would contact them. It doesn't look like they've got to sign up for wholesale off the top of my head, but I bet you can contact them. There is their email address, and ask how you can resell their products. And what would be interesting in this for me is the parts, right? So people who buy their products, a lot of times probably need the replacement parts, because I'm guessing that wheels, they wear out, right? So is everybody on the same page? You see what I did there? I started with a website, and then I went down the rabbit hole. And that's just one website out of 1,248 that's in the Wholesale Tradeshow Directory. So did everybody see what I did? I'm going to pop over to the chat here and make sure we are all on the same page. Groovy. Thanks, Mike. I like that. Hang 10. Good job. So everybody, did you see what I did, how I did what I did? Now, how easy is that? Tell me that that's easy in the chat. I know it looks like it was a little bit complicated because I went fast, but it is super easy, but there's just a lot of information to go through. So the next step is, well, okay, you're going to say, Barbara, that's great, but man, I could be sitting behind my computer for the next 43 years going through these websites. How do I automate this stuff? And well, I'm going to tell you. Schluck of water and dramatic pause. Okay. Does everybody want to know? Are we on the same page? Are you guys having fun? Good stuff. Okay, I'm having fun too. I love doing this stuff. So let's just keep going. How do you leverage technology to extract all that supplier information from each and every trade show site in order to build your own list of tens of thousands, if not millions of niche suppliers and products to contact for new wholesale accounts? Everybody want to know how to do this? I'm going to tell you. Here we go. So it's called data mining or web scraping. And what I do is I go to Fiverr or Upwork, and I just look for, I post an ad for, on Upwork, I would post an ad for data mining or web scraping. And here's just 2 examples. And this was just a quick search, and there were tens and tens, and I don't, maybe probably 100 different responses. I didn't go through them all. But check this out, $35 an hour, $27 an hour. But what these web scrapers do is they'll set up an automation for these sites so that once they set that automation up, the scraping happens pretty fast. So, for $27 an hour, how many websites could they scrape? If they could scrape, 100 websites an hour, and each of those websites has, well, you saw over on Surf Expo, let's take a look at how many suppliers there are. I'm just going to keep going here. We're only at the B's. Would you guys say there's probably, I don't know, at least 1,000 suppliers? Look at this. This is insane. There are a lot of suppliers here. We're only at the J's, and I've only half scrolled, all right? So instead of you going each and every one of these websites, you have somebody scrape this information off. And what they do is they create this tool that will go in and scrape out the name of the contact and whatever is in here, okay? Miami, Florida, and so whatever information is listed in here. So it would be Miami, Florida, United States, the website address. It looks like there might be a Facebook link. There is. They can scrape that out and then scrape out the this home information, the description, and then even the product information, right? So whatever information is on this particular trade show website, they will scrape that information and it will end up in a CSV file, or which you can then bring into Google Spreadsheets or Excel. Does that make sense? I know I'm going fast, but this works and it's not that hard to do. So you can also go to Fiverr. You notice these guys here for $5, they'll do web scraping, crawler, data mining, data extraction. It's also called data extraction, by the way. This guy's $5. This one's $5. So you can get them done for pretty, now these are $5 each site, which could kind of add up, which, 1,200, 1,300 websites times $5 is a lot of money. So I prefer going to Upwork, even though that looks expensive. And by the way, if you place a web scraping job on Upwork, this is just me searching for data mining. But if you put a job up there, then these guys are in the US, okay? So you'll get answers from people from other parts of the world who maybe only charge $10 an hour to do the same level and quality of work than these 2 guys from the US. So this was just an example of how you can get this done. Okay, so you guys see what I did here. Go ahead and ask any questions in the chat. Let me come over to the chat and make sure we're all on the same page. How are you guys doing? Is your brain kind of going on overdrive now on the possibilities and the potential of just this one website? Just this one website. Here's a gift for you. Go to surfexpo.com and just start trolling for new suppliers. Go ahead and go to that website. Okay, so yay automation, yes, fun. How do you know if there are manufacturers or wholesalers? Well, Mike, you're going to have to go to each website and identify that. But this short circuits the directory plus the data mining, the scraping. This short circuits a lot of your research. And then you can even hire a VA. Here's the next step. You outsource the rest. Hire a VA to contact each one of those. And with a properly crafted initial email, you can pretty quickly determine whether or not they're brand owners, wholesalers, etc. And once you create a process for a VA to follow, where you have criteria when they go to a website, you say, here's what we're looking for that would identify this company as a brand owner, as opposed to just a distributor. And you train a VA or a set of VAs to look for specific information that you give them to kind of shortlist these exhibitors, then most of this is just automated and outsourced. Does that make sense? Okay, so what specific data do the web scrapers provide you at the end of the day? Jan, anything you tell them to. So each of these websites, and by websites I mean trade show websites, is going to provide different information on each website. So what you'll do is you'll put up an ad for a data mining expert saying, look, here's 100 websites, and I want you to data mine. I want you to find the links to all the exhibitors if they exist, and then I want you to extract all information from those exhibitors that's available, including company name, website address, city, state, address, phone number, description of product, keywords, right? And you give them kind of a laundry list of, if this information exists on this particular trade show website, please extract it, okay? Because each exhibitor website or each trade show website will have different levels of information. This is kind of cool. Thank you, Marcus. I think so too. I've been doing it for quite some time. Brilliant. Thank you. So much more efficient. Very cool, Barbara. Thank you. Do you teach anything about training VAs? Cynthia, you know what? That's a really good question. I should probably put together a little training on how to create processes for VAs. But here's a quick step process is, if I find myself doing something more than once, I'll create a video just like this one. And I will send it to a VA and say, learn how to do this. Right? Or I will even buy a training program for my VAs to follow. So I don't, and maybe just add a little video that gives us specifics to that training as it relates to my business. Does that make sense? Would you mind sharing specific criteria for we should ask a VA to watch for? Sam, that's actually up to you. So all of the criteria that I told you to give the data miner, you're going to create a list of criteria. When a VA goes to these wholesale sites or to these supplier sites, you say, look, we're looking for, you write a profile. Here's our perfect product supplier. We're looking for a brand owner. We're looking for somebody whose products are not yet sold on Amazon. So you can have them search on Amazon, right? So you can come up with your whole laundry list of what you want for your business, for your Amazon business, for example. And then you send that to a VA for them to follow. So we can have them weed out the brick and mortar only ones. Absolutely, Andrea. What site to use to hire a VA? You can find a VA on Upwork.com. I use onlinejobs.ph when I need to find a full-time member or team member. In fact, you don't have to hire a full-time VA. You can just hire someone to work on project. I use Upwork to find a researcher, and also I have something called data append. So a lot of times after I get these websites back and these CSV files back, I want to, and they don't have a phone number, for example, I want to data append, which means I hire someone to append data to each record. So let me explain how that works a little bit. So I'll hire someone, let's say that this CSV file of exhibitors from a certain website or a certain trade show website doesn't include phone numbers for these companies, but I want phone numbers. So I will hire someone to data append phone numbers for this CSV file, where they physically go to every single vendor's website and get additional information and append that to that CSV file. Does that make sense? So you can outsource, you can automate and automate or outsource every single step of this process. I want to do another mic drop there. This is really powerful. This is a way to find tens of thousands of new suppliers who might have totally, millions of new products, some of which may not even be on the Amazon marketplace yet, that you can bring to the marketplace with an exclusive agreement. You can create bundles, etc. Does this make sense? Okay, so let me go back to the questions real quick and make sure we're kind of all on the same page. I know I'm dumping a lot of information on you, but I want to make sure that I get as much information out to you as I can in the short time we have together. Wahoo, let's see. What sites to use to hire a VA? Answer that, thank you. Where can we find VA training videos? Wahoo. Cynthia, here's the thing with using ready-made VA training videos. You have to train someone to do what you want them to do in your business. Okay, so I know you're looking for shortcuts for, can I just, have your training videos to give to my VAs, but my business might be different than yours. My criteria for suppliers might be different than yours. My criteria for product niches is definitely different than yours, I guarantee it. So you actually need to kind of do the work. And what I do is I know this is so low tech, but it works for me. I've got this pretty book because I like pretty books and pretty pens, right? And when I have a new process, I'll just open up and look at that VA tasks, right? I have a list of VA tasks. I will write down the process that I use. This is video processing. How do I process the videos of the replay of this, for example? I will go through the process once. As I'm going through it, I will physically write down every single step and sub-step, as well as logins, passwords, everything, right? And then I put this into a Google Doc, and then I can create a little video using Zoom. By the way, we're using Zoom, guys, and it's free at certain levels, or really, really cheap. You can also use something called Screencast, I think it is, which is a Google Chrome extension that's also free for short snippets of videos. There's so many ways to do quick videos, and I wasn't comfortable doing videos about a year ago. So I just started doing videos a little bit over a year ago in January last year. And now I just find it a whole lot more fun. So what you do is you create a little presentation using Google Slides based on this, right? And then create a video like we just did here today. And then that's your training video for a VA. Does that make sense? So you've got to create your own. And part of creating your own videos and SOPs, which is standard operating procedures like this, is you're going to build a library of them for your business. And that's actually going to add value to your company if you ever decided to sell your business. I know this is next level stuff a little bit, guys. I don't want to get off track of using trade shows to find new supplier leads. So let's see, in the chat, FreeUp. Yes, FreeUp is also a great website, FreeUp with 3 E's, right? Once you get the CSV, where do you start to find product? So Julia, there are a lot, that's a great question, thank you. Once you get the CSV files back with listing all the trade shows, then you need to go to each of their sites or outsource going to each of their sites to sign up for a wholesale account. Once you sign up for a wholesale account, and by the way, I give you a training on what if a supplier doesn't have a CSV file? What if a supplier only has like a PDF catalog or no catalog at all, but they have all of their products up on their website? You can use what I just taught you, data mining, and have someone scrape all of their, after they give you the login to the wholesale site, giving you your prices, you can have a data mining person scrape all of that information out into a CSV. So now you have their catalog of products in a CSV file that you can run through, like Price Checker 2, Tactical Arbitrage, Viral Launch, Ace Inspector Pro, INDBL. There's so many programs out there and services that will help you match up a supplier's catalog to a wholesale catalog. And by the way, I give you training on how to do that data scraping and how to outsource that scraping when you get my 2018 wholesale trade show directory. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a link right now in a couple of minutes that shows you how you can get that, and I'm going to give you a discount too. So FreeUp is a great website. I agree. Nathan Hirsch, who runs FreeUp, is an awesome guy. Does a really great job finding VAs for you. Sounds like a marker you're putting into the video or someone dropping a microphone. Right. So that's a mic drop is just a saying when you give a nugget of information that's worthy enough to say, hang on a second, pause. Let me take that in. That's what mic drop means. Sorry, I thought everybody knew that. I apologize. Really appreciate you showing your book. You're amazing. Oh, Cherry says I'm amazing. I love your videos. That's so sweet. Did anybody get all the criteria to have scraped? Yes, 3 E's. So Daniel, you can watch the replay of this. All of the information to be scraped is whatever you find on a website. So we're going to surfexpo.com again, and whatever information this expo provides on their website is what you're going to have scraped. And each trade show is going to have a different set of data. Some will give you a ton of data with address and phone number and CEO name and the sales manager's name and phone number and email address, right? And then some will give you less information. Each and every website is going to be a little bit different. But what I want you to see is the unbelievable potential of having access to these niche markets where you have links to all the major players who can afford enough to be a vendor at these trade shows, right? And then give you some of the contact information that you can automate having that scraped out of, and then outsource having the next level of information added to that and contacts starting to be made to build your supplier catalog. Does this make sense? Guys, there's no get-rich-quick scheme. All right, I don't believe in a lottery ticket mentality where you pay, $200 and boom, you're a millionaire. This doesn't work. Business doesn't work that way. It doesn't, and you all know that. You're smart business people. So what I can do is bring you tools at a reasonable cost, at a reasonable investment that you know that when you leverage these tools, when you actually implement, it will skyrocket where your business is from now. And that's what I've done with this trade show and with this trade show directory and with this training here. Okay, so they can scrape a PDF file. Yes, you can scrape a PDF file. Absolutely, Heather. If you get a PDF file, I have an old school supplier who actually, he gives me a printed catalog stapled in the corner. I'm not kidding you. He's so old school. He doesn't even do email. I have to call him up to place my orders. He'll call me for reorders. It's awesome, right? So nobody else, there's no Amazon seller selling his stuff because most Amazon sellers are lazy and don't have the patience and tenacity that I do and that you all do, okay? So I took that and I scanned that in. Over at Kinko's, I had them scan it in, UPS store I think it was, and to get a PDF, and then I sent that PDF over to be scraped. So now I have a CSV file that, well, that's how I found out nobody was selling his stuff on Amazon, because then I ran it against Amazon and there's nothing. Yes, you can scrape a PDF file. Do you have a specific email template you use for wholesaler, or do you change it per supplier? I actually have a wholesale email template that I'm going to give you when you grab the 2018 Wholesale Trade Show calendar or directory. I'm going to give that to you, as well as information on how to scrape the CSV files. Okay, so many rejections for Amazon sellers. Yes, there are, but that's not my focus. That's a good thing when someone rejects you, when a supplier rejects you. You want to take that, and this is next level training that I've done other videos on. Go to dealdivawholesale.com. That's dealdivawholesale.com, and you'll see I did a video on what do you do when a supplier says no, and I actually see that as an opportunity. So this is a numbers game, which is why I put almost 1,300 trade shows in there, in the US alone, so that I could give you the competitive edge. Because it is a numbers game. The more suppliers you find and contact, the higher your ratio, your close ratio is on getting and finding suppliers who aren't yet on Amazon, right? Don't go after the low-hanging fruit that everybody else is going after, that every single wholesale seller is going after. I want to help you, and that's why I created this. Go after the suppliers who maybe need help on Amazon, who really need help on Amazon, or who aren't yet selling on Amazon. And that is the purpose of creating this directory and this training. So I hope that makes sense. Don't focus on the rejections as a negative. Look at the rejections as an opportunity, and then look at, okay, I just need to make more contacts. Laura, let's see, any other questions here? Can you tell everyone to post to all panelists and attendees? Everybody, if you're posting, go ahead and post to all panelists and attendees if you're posting in the chat. So Heather says, oh my God, that's so cool that it can also be loaded into tactical arbitrage. Yes, you're a genius, Barbara. I don't know about that, but thank you. Everybody has their own specialized genius area in life, and mine happens to be data research. I am a data geek. I own, some of you might know, I own a research and reports company in the global energy industry. Since 2002, I've been providing directories and research to organizations like government energy organizations and government like Italian Trade Commission and large energy companies. So this is not new to me. It's just new in the Amazon marketplace. I don't think a lot of people are really doing this. So I'm bringing my B2B experience from the past, 16 years, I guess, into this B2C market to help you guys out. Okay, no, Trade Show Directory 2018 is not included in the Bundle Masterclass. It is a separate product. The 2017 directory is in the Bundle Masterclass, but the 2018 is brand new and includes a whole lot more trade shows. So let's see, viral launch, what other tools you said? INDBL, which is a pay-as-you-go service to scrape CSV files against the Amazon's catalog to match up CSV files against the Amazon catalogs. What else does that? Price checker, do tactical arbitrage, viral launch. I'm sure there's some others out there I'm not thinking of. But ACE Inspector Pro does it too. ASIN Inspector Pro. AS Inspector Pro does it as well. If you help them get started on Amazon, do you ask them for exclusive? Sure, why not? Why wouldn't I? Absolutely. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're on track with time and that you guys all kind of understand what I've just shown you, okay? So let me get back to the presentation here. And down here. All right. So leverage, data mining, web scraping. Does everybody understand you can outsource this? And then also data append. If any information is missing from these trade show websites, you can hire someone to append that data. Okay. So I just want to offer you the 2018 Wholesale Trade Show Directory. Officially, you can get access to literally millions of potential products, millions, tens, thousands and thousands and thousands of new suppliers, potentially millions of products. You get almost 1,300 niche U.S. trade shows. So you're also going to discover other niches that you can create bundles in, that you can really dig deep and understand the problems and the passions in that product, in that niche. You can create bundles as well as bring new product to the Amazon's marketplace. You can sell on your own websites. You can sell on eBay, right? It includes the event name, the dates, the city, even the dates as well, so that you can actually attend. If any of these, you can sort by city and state. So if any of them are in a city or a state near you, you can actually just physically go to these trade shows and meet with these vendors. And of course, it gives you the website address so that you can go directly to the website in order to scrape their websites. And start exploring that niche too. You get to understand what a niche looks like by going to the website and understanding the target market for the people who are actually going to attend that trade show. Okay, so I'm going to give you power-up bonuses, my reseller guide, how to set up wholesale accounts, which is my step-by-step guide to contacting companies and setting wholesale accounts. I'm going to give you instructions on how to process a supplier catalog using industry tools, and then I'm going to give you a video instruction on what to do if a supplier does not have a catalog in CSV or Excel format. So I'm selling this all the bonuses plus the directory for $127. Use the discount code SAVE30 today, and you get it for just $97. Access to over millions of potential products, tens of thousands of new suppliers for just $97. Go to tradeshowmining.com, use discount code SAVE30, and you will get 30% or $30 off of the original $127. Now, how much would this be worth to you guys? If you could just get one wholesale account out of the tens of thousands of potential wholesale accounts available through all of these websites, if you could just get one wholesale account, what would that be worth to you just in the first, in 9 months of this year? What would that be worth to you if you could source just one product from one supplier from those tens of thousands of suppliers? Do you think that would be worth, at least $97 to invest in order to get access to just one product at one supplier? Well, you get access to 1,284 trade shows with potentially hundreds, if not thousands of suppliers per trade show, plus hundreds, if not thousands of suppliers of products for each supplier. So I just wanted to check the chat and make sure that we're all on the same page here, so you can understand the value, the strength, the profit potential of this directory and my bonuses. So go ahead and put in the chat if you have any questions. I'm going to come over here and answer any ones that I haven't covered already. You can also go to tradeshowmining.com, use the discount code SAVE30, And you'll get, because you're on this webinar, you're going to get $30 off, and you'll get the entire trade show directory plus all of my bonuses for just $97. So that was great. Do you go to many shows? I have gone to a couple of shows already this year. I went to ASD, and I actually had coaching students I went through, and we created our own bundles, which is really cool. Everybody walked away creating a new bundle and with new suppliers. I go to local shows, and if there's a big show that that has a bunch of suppliers I really want to meet and lock down a relationship with them, I will absolutely go to that show because it makes sense. If you help them get started on Amazon, do you ask for exclusives? Sure, absolutely. Just make sure you're giving a ton of value to a new supplier who's not on Amazon, and make sure you're over delivering, but also from a business perspective, lock down that exclusive with the contract. Yes, I am going to do coaching for bundles again. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a bundle live event, and we'll talk more about that later. But I just wanted to make sure you guys were all on track for the 2018 Trade Show Directory. You get $30 off. Use discount code SAVE30. Go to tradeshowmining.com, and you get access to all these trade shows and suppliers and their products for just $97.